Alright, the is the post-match pint. Brentford 3, Liverpool 3. Joining us, I have John Milburn and Harriet, and me, Gareth. Are we disappointed or are we enthralled by a 3-all? I've got to say, I'm going to say my little piece first. I really fucking enjoyed tonight. And look, we can get into it and we can rip apart the defending and we can say about the attacking and blah, 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 blah. But a 3-all on a Saturday night, blood and guts all the way through, never stopped, the intensity never dipped. It was great. And somewhere out there right now, there's a TV executive patting himself on the back saying, I'm really glad I picked that one. But I get it, Harriet, that people are disappointed we haven't emerged with 3 points. But we are top of the league, and we are the only team in the league who's unbeaten, and we are top by a point. It's not a bad start to the season. There's a lot to be positive about, but I think it's going to take a little bit of time for that result to sort of sink in and everything to set. I'm not fuming, but I just feel like I think the way the results have gone today, it felt like a really good opportunity to sort of make a mark and make a step ahead. And we were all taking the piss out of United earlier, and I thought, the best way to do that. Of course it does, but it just feels like that third goal from them felt like a bit of a blow. But there's lots to be positive about. Salah's 100th goal and everything like that. There's lots of good things to take from it, but I can't help coming away from it being a little bit pissed off that we haven't gone and got the win. But it was a mad game, wasn't it? It was a mad game, but it's a good game.
That first 10 minutes it was mad in itself, and then it just carried on from there and carried on. And some of our defensive choices were absolutely bizarre. Van Dijk made some mad choices, which is pretty unexpected from him and out of character. There was just a lot of craziness. The 2 goals from them, especially the first 2, it was mad.
What did you think, mate? I mean, I thought, and I said on stuff we did before the match, that I thought this was going to be really difficult. I thought R5, promoted side, a good side as we saw tonight, and a side that, the only team that have beaten them so far is Brighton. They scored in the 90th minute, so there's no time for them to come back. You could see tonight how well drilled they are, how fit they are, like they're clever, We can pick apart Liverpool's defending, but we can equally say, they got at us. They looked at ways they could get it. Their set pieces were clever. All of those things, and like I say, I just can't get away from it. Maybe it's where I am right now, but I can't get away from it. I enjoyed the game of football.
Maybe it's our time of life, mate, but I really enjoyed the match. Like I think sometimes you come away from a football match going, I feel alive after watching that, because it was like. Imagine we coasted like 2-3-0 and it had been like a bit of a procession. You'd come away and you'd be a bit flat, but actually I feel like I've lived and breathed every minute of that game. And I think I was really, really excited and impressed with them.
Yeah, I was.
From a quality point of view, I don't think they've got necessarily the highest ceiling in terms of quality, but the enthusiasm, the energy, everything they put into it. And we watched it on Matthew Street, which was first of all insane. But like, we watched it.
We on point there then.
We watched it on Matthew Street, which wasn't part of my plan for today, but it was part of my reality for today. And so like loads of weird things happening while I'm watching the football match. But like, you're going into it, and it reminded me of times like in the 90s watching Liverpool. Do you remember when Liverpool's defence was called the Keystone Cops? Do you remember all that? Yeah. Do you remember that was a media narrative that and that was because the patterns of play that Brentford were doing weren't like the types of patterns of play you see against a Chelsea or a Manchester United or a Manchester City. It was all a bit random, because with the greatest of respect, and I do genuinely mean the greatest respect to Brentford, it was a level below what Liverpool are used to playing against under normal circumstances.
It was basically hell for leather, wasn't it?
And it was just a bit chaotic, and we just weren't ready for the chaos. And they were finding spaces or missed touches that was creating gaps that you wouldn't be able to predict in normal patterns of play. So when Liverpool are playing against Liverpool in training, nobody creates the sort of stumbling gaps that they were created in that game, and it was just really, really enthralling to watch. And as I say, I could feel my blood pressure being really, really high throughout the whole thing. I did really, really enjoy it, and to your point, I think you can look at it and go, bloody hell, I wish Salah had hit that first shot a little bit harder, or you can say that this chance should have happened, this chance. Their goalie was unbelievable. If Alisson had pulled off the saves their keeper had made
the one
today,
from Jota particularly.
the double save he made was just like unbelievable. I think you just got to sometimes go, fucking hell, they've had a really, really good day at the office. And Liverpool played well as well. You're allowed to be able to say, it's not just that Liverpool are shit and they're great. Actually, there's a load of grey in between, and Liverpool had a really, really good game and probably should have been a bit more clinical, and that's been a criticism you could throw at Liverpool for probably the last 15 games. You should have and could have been a bit more critical, a bit more clinical, but still, he still played really, really well. There's nobody in that Liverpool team who's saying stunk the gaff out. No. Everybody played really, really well. But their goalie was great and their forward play was great. I don't know, I enjoyed it more than I should.
Hello Reds, thanks for watching that taster of the post-match pint. If you want to watch the rest of that video, really easy to watch it right here on YouTube. Just click the join button below. That activates the membership. It gives you access to the Anfield Wrap's premium videos, which includes the post-match pint, but also reviews, previews, exclusive interviews, and it means you can follow us, follow them, from here, the heart of Liverpool.